The date is October 1898 in the Hogar Mountains in what is now Algeria. Here, a French geologist named Fernand Fourreau has made some interesting discovery during an expedition from Algeria to Lake Chad. Two unassuming tooth fossils that was assigned to the fish Saurocephalus, but were later reassigned to Spinosaurus by Ernst Stromer, the describer of Spinosaurus aegyptiacus. Unfortunately, these teeth have since been lost. Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, meaning Egyptian spine lizard, was discovered in 1912 in the Baharije Formation of Western Egypt, and later described in 1915 by German paleontologist Ernst Stromer. The remains included a lower jaw, fragment of the upper jaw, cervical, tail, and dorsal sail vertebrae, along with neurospines, ribs, and teeth. Because the fossils were so incomplete, some parts were filled in with elements from Tyrannosaurs, and this was the reconstruction of Spinosaurus in 1936. We can see that it is standing up straight, with its tail very low to the ground, as was typical of theropod depiction of the time, like with these vintage paleoarts. Compared to what we know now, we can probably see the Tyrannosaur inspiration that is in this reconstruction. The smaller arms, longer legs, and shorter skull, as well as the lack of a tail fluke. The findings of Spinosaurus, along with its reconstruction stationed in Munich, Germany, were tragically destroyed during a bombing in 1944, and the name Spinosaurus would be largely forgotten. That was until the 1980s, when Spinosaurus fossils popped up in numerous sites in Algeria, Morocco, and Tunisia. In 1986, a paper described multiple teeth attributed to Spinosaurus were found in Tunisia. 3 years later, in 1989, two jaw fragments found in Morocco were assigned to Spinosaurus by French paleontologist Eric Boffetot, with even more Spinosaurids were found in South America, Asia, Africa, and Europe. Even though they were mostly fragmentary, one thing is certain: Spinosaurus is back. Spinosaurus belongs to the family Spinosauridae, subfamily Spinosaurinae, and tribe Spinosaurini. The family Spinosauridae evolved from the clade Megasauroidea, and characterized by convergently evolving traits similar to crocodilians, like long narrow skull and almost circular teeth, which have made many to conclude that these adaptations were results of a more piscivorous diet. Possibly the earliest Spinosaurid emerged in the Middle Jurassic in Niger and India around 174 to 161 million years ago, and they became widespread from as early as the Birimian stage until the Cenomanian stage, approximately 100 million to 94 million years ago. The family Spinosauridae are split into two subfamilies: Baryonychinae, which includes the more basal Spinosaurids like Baryonyx from England or Irritator from Brazil, and Spinosaurinae, which contains Spinosaurus and a few dubious genus similar to it, Sigilomosaurus from northern Africa, along with Oxalea, also from Brazil. Unlike Baryonychinae, members of Spinosaurinae deviate quite heavily from the basic theropod body plan. Their signature features are the huge sail on their back, comparatively shorter legs, and possessing a tail fluke. It is thought that they were more adapted for semi-aquatic life. Spinosaurus is a megatheropod, and the largest S. aegyptiacus specimen has been considered to be a contender for the largest theropod to ever live, with the most recent estimate putting it at a maximum of 14 meters long and 7.4 tons. which is heavier than the African bush elephant, the biggest modern-day land animal, only reaching to 7 tons. Like most spinosaurids, the jaw of Spinosaurus is filled with sharp conical teeth, lacking serration, similar to those of crocodiles, and they would have served a similar purpose, to catch and hold prey. Spinosaurus had a massive back sail, and in 1997, Jack Bowman Bailey argued that it wasn't even a sail at all, but rather a fatty hump used to store energy and for heat regulation like those of bisons. While it is still being debated, it is now widely agreed that the sail would have been used to regulate its body temperature, as a display to attract mates, or intimidate rivals and predators. Even the legs of Spinosaurus were also quite unusual, small pelvis and short hind limbs, with the foot similar to shorebirds, and may have been webbed, supporting the idea of a more semi-aquatic lifestyle. Spinosaurus was even proposed to be a quadruped in 2014 by Ibrahim, but that idea has now largely fallen out of favor due to mistaken limb proportion in the study. Late Cretaceous North Africa would have resembled a mangrove with large tidal flats and waterways. Spinosaurus would have coexisted with Ceratosaurus, Abelisaurus, Titanosaurus, and Carcharodontosaurus, like the mighty Carcharodontosaurus. With fewer herbivorous species than carnivorous, it is believed that there were niche partitioning between these theropod clades, and Spinosaurids would have mostly hunted fish. And even though it is a Spinosaurid, Spinosaurus, with its massive size, could have scavenged by scaring away the predator and even hunt on its own, a niche not unlike the grizzly bear of today. In 2009, Dalsasso and colleagues X-ray scanned the snout of a Spinosaurus and revealed that there were a lot of openings, called foramen. The author speculated that these may have been pressure receptors that help it detect movement in the water, like those of crocodilians, allowing it to catch prey without seeing them by holding its snout at the surface of the water. Whether Spino was a pursuit or ambush predator is still an ongoing debate, with David Hone and Thomas Holtz arguing that Spino was likely to be a shoreline ambush specialist. But in 2022, Fabry challenged the idea by comparing the density of Spinosaurus skeletons and proposed a more active pursuit lifestyle. Later that same year, Serrano suggested that it was wholly bipedal and actually an ambush piscivore that prefer waterside both along coast, lakes, and rivers that are deeper inland. In 2024, another paper also supported that Spinosaurus hunted more like a heron, standing by the water than diving after prey. Later that same year, another team also analyzed the skull and concluded that the skull morphology and hunting methods would be similar to ambush predators like shorebirds. Currently, this is the widely accepted hypothesis in the paleontology community. There are currently 2 valid species of Spinosaurus, which are S. aegyptiacus and S. mirabilis, and 1 dubious species, S. maroccanus, with Sigemosaurus and Oxalea also potentially belonging to the same genus Spinosaurus. S. aegyptiacus was described by Stromer in 1915, and S. maroccanus was described in 1996 by Canadian geologist Dale Russo from fossils found in Kem beds in Taous, Morocco. But the validity of this species is still controversial. Most interesting of all is the recently described species, Spinosaurus mirabilis, which is Latin for astonishing spine lizard. It was described earlier this year in 2026 from fossils found during excavations in the Farak Formation of Niger, spearheaded by paleontologist Paul Sereno. This incredible species would have lived in Central Africa during the early Cenomanian, roughly 100 to 94 million years ago. And as you can see, S. mirabilis is very similar to S. aegyptiacus, with the most striking feature of this species is the crest on top of its head, resembling a horn. Even though the specimens discovered were all immature, it is estimated that a fully grown Spinosaurus mirabilis was around 8 meters long, about 15% smaller than Spinosaurus aegyptiacus. Spinosaurus' first appearance in pop culture was in the 2001 movie Jurassic Park 3 as the primary antagonist, where it is scaled to be larger than the bull T-Rex. Along with many Jurassic Park games, like the Jurassic World Evolution series. Spinosaurus also was added to the dinosaur survival game, ARK, in 2015, being a quadruped, and added to the game The Isles in 2016. The same Spino from Jurassic Park 3 also appears in the 4th and 5th season of Camp Cretaceous, where it is shown to once again beefing with 2 T-Rexes. Spinosaurus' last appearance in the Jurassic franchise was in the movie Jurassic World Rebirth in 2025, with a more grounded depiction along with a speculative hunting collaboration with the Mosasaurus from Jurassic World. Outside of movies and games, Spino has also starred in a few documentaries with varying level of accuracy and quality. Starting in 2009 with Discovery's Monster Resurrected, where Spinosaurus is shown towering over the Sarcosuchus and Carcharodontosaurus, which is way larger than even its biggest estimate. 2 years later, in 2011, we get a much more realistic depiction with the release of BBC documentary Planet Dinosaur. Here is shown hunting an Oncapristi like a heron. And in 2014, amidst of Dr. Ibrahim quadruped hypothesis, where it was knuckle walking in the National Geographic documentary Nova Bigger Than T-Rex. Spinosaurus also returns to BBC's Walking with Dinosaur in 2025 with a much more active pursuit lifestyle, swimming to catch prey. Its last appearance was in Netflix The Dinosaurs, voiced by Morgan Freeman in 2026, with a portrayal much closer to our current knowledge. The consensus on the cause for Spinosaurus extinction is due to environmental changes of the Cenomanian-Turonian boundary event 94 million years ago, when the sea level rose and flooded the regions Spinosaurus and its relatives lived in, along with many others, effectively destroying the freshwater habitat that it relied upon, as well as causing its extinction and marking the end of the family Spinosauridae. Even though Spinosaurus may be no more, we can still marvel at its incredibly unique evolution. And just maybe, there's even more bizarre species out there waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like to show support and follow for more educational content on paleontology. Lastly, feel free to share your thoughts or what you want me to cover next in the comment section below. See you all later.